Hello everyone and welcome to the video that discusses on how you can engage in difficult financial conversations. Please note that this video is just a primer on understanding what a difficult conversation when it comes to money looks like, but does not in any way force or coerce anyone into staying in a conversation or a situation that can be incredibly unsafe for them. Please be mindful that these topics can cause increased amounts of anger and violence from an abuser. So, to be mindful and practicing bystander intervention and self care measures is very important. Many of us grow up learning that money is one of a few topics, like politics or sex or religion, that we should avoid in polite company. For example, you would have heard older people or parental figures say, you don't brag about your net worth or how much you make in a month. Don't share your salary with your colleagues. Do not try to ask your friends about their rent and how much they're paying every month. Poor money skills are usually deemed as something to be ashamed of or embarrassed of. This keeps people from being honest about money and seeking the right kind of help. There are some tips on how to have safe and productive conversations about money, but I will reiterate again that having these conversations is only easy or provided possible if they are only safe. If you feel like you are in an unsafe situation, please do not try to engage with someone who might cause you harm. Number 1, choosing the right time. Choose a time where everyone involved can be receptive. They are ready to listen to all parties, and the main objective is to understand what is being said. Choosing a neutral moment is the best way to have this conversation. Having these conversations during extremely positive or extremely stressful situations may cloud judgment and breed conflict. Number 2, accept the differences. Since we have already discussed so many different types of mindsets, including scarcity mindset, being mindful is very important. Everyone is built with different value systems, and these value systems impact their financial behavior and health by default. Number 3, take it one at a time. Starting with one financial aspect at a time can make this conversation seem less daunting, and you can have a more simplistic approach to the problem. Number 4, avoid hiding the figures. For anyone to understand how money makes life comfortable and how crises can lead to discomforts, having a brief idea about the expenses and incomes that come in and go out can help plan for a future that is economically secure. Numbers here are incredibly important to understand any situation in the clearest way possible. And number 5, involve the child as much as possible. Letting children plan finances with family members is the best way to teach them on how to plan their money and ensure there is no room for any abusive scenarios to come up in the future. Once conversations about money are made easy, practical and fun, they become safer to have as children grow up. But what does a healthy financial relationship even look like, especially amongst intimate partners? Number 1 is both partners have access to financial statements and information, including passwords and PINs, especially if it's a joint account, although one partner may manage the finances. Couples who feel safe to identify and voice when they have different values about money and negotiate their financial goals together tend to build healthy financial relationships. Both recognize and respect that decision making should be equal regardless of who earns more income. And lastly, each partner can have access to money on their own. Separate bank accounts and separate banks is totally okay. But it's important to be self-aware and cognizant of your existing biases, how much scarcity mindset may be clouding your judgment, and your respective financial positions can be incredibly important in building a strong and healthy financial relationship.